The concept of pulling is simple. Which vehicle can drag a weighted sled the farthest? But winning takes much more than brute horsepower. A driver has to have almost instantaneously feel for how much or how little traction is on hand, and then perform a concerto on the controls. The best make it look easy.
In the heart of the Midwest, there's a band of modern-day marauders. Mounted atop their beasts, they line up to throw down. They are outlaws.
Welcome to Thunder in the Valley from Rock Valley, Iowa. I'm Claude Wood. Dave Bennett, Rick Carlson, and I will be bringing you all of today's action. Our first class will be the Pro Stock 4x4 trucks. But first, Dave, this is really one of the super tracks in the sport of pulling.
Oh, these people do an outstanding job of working the track, putting the right moisture in it. To make a good track, you start with water. You rip it up, get the water down in it deep. If it's a sandy track, it takes more water. If it's a clay track, it takes less water. And these boys know how to work dirt.
Pro Stock 4x4s, let's get it started with the Show Me Chevy.
Philip Chrysler out of Lincoln, Missouri. This guy can hammer with the best of them. Owns more championships than any other puller in this class. He is one good one to watch for a fact. Watching those tires spin, he had to work hard to get a hold of the track. You heard that motor go upstairs and then just work it to the other end. He did not have the best of runs. He goes 295.89.
Let's go to the replay, and do you hammer down? What's the theory here?
Well, you hope he gets a hold right off the bat, and he didn't. Now, he's the first puller of the class, and he has the option of turning it down because he can make some air pressure changes, and that's exactly what he done. He turned that pull down.
Rat Trap is driven by Marty Selman, part of a husband-wife team. This is a nice-looking 1975 Ford F-350.
Well, in this class right here, you get the battle between the Fords and the Chevrolets. Now, since the Show Me Chevy turned his pull down, this will be our first measurable distance. Marty doing the driving today, not the wife. He's going to lay it in there at 291.23, so he'll set the mark to beat right there.
Looks like he set it up right in the center of the track, and he stayed pretty true. Track's working out real well for him.
Well, these trucks weighing 6,200 pounds. You don't need to do no darting. You just need to get the other end as far as you can go.
A good run. Let's go down to Rick Carlson.
How are you? I'm good. Is that going to hold up? I don't know. I hope. Old track's got some bite in it tonight.
Would you have done anything different?
Yeah, I might have geared down a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. We hope it holds. I don't know.
Jordan Compton right there in her office, getting ready to go. She's out of Creighton, Missouri.
18-year-old, she can hammer with the best of them. She likes the Fords. Oh, that motor struggled a little bit. That motor's got all it wants. Now it comes to its own. Not one of her better passes. She's going to go into number 2 right now at 283.04.
Dave, you said the motor struggled. As we listen again, what would have caused it, and where do you hear that?
Right there about 30 feet out, you heard that motor go downhill just a little bit. That's when the tires, that gearing, basically, I'm going to say she could have dropped a gear because that motor had all it wanted.
Keeping it going now with Lucas Zeitler. Who's cheating who?
Lexington, Missouri, new body style. Single 4-barrel carbureted motors, cast iron blocks, 6,200 pounds. I love listening to these motors. You gotta love listening to this one. Chattering a little bit on the end right there. Pickup chattered a little bit. He moved over to the right. Goes number 1 at 294.08.
The rollers on the front, that's a safety issue?
On the front of the weight bracket, there's always a set of wheels. Whether it's 4-wheel drive or not, there's always going to be a set of wheels underneath that front weight bracket in case there's a drawbar breakage.
Let's see what Lucas thought about that pull.
Lucas, 294 puts you in the lead.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pass. Probably a little high on my gear, but wasn't half bad. So we'll see if it holds up. There's some pretty good trucks back here yet.
And that'll bring up Eric Scott, an instigator. You know, Dave, this class has been fighting weather all year long.
Yeah, this is the first time the boys got to hook the sled because they've had 2 rainouts previous to this show, so nobody has no points. The new structure of the point system all year long, so getting started off on the right foot, and Eric Scott right here, the instigator, he'd like to head a little bit farther down the track because points is the thing, and this being the first hook of the year with the rainouts. Take a look here, Claude. Now, this guy's going straight and level, drifted to the side. And you just don't like to see that little bit of a drift right there, but one thing about it, he didn't need to drop a gear because that motor was working.
A good pull. That will bring up Larry Hollis. He is last year's points champion.
Not had the best of luck on this track in years past. Wants to whoop the Rock Valley track. Oh, that 4-barrel sucking air. Tire spinning, burning and churning. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. It's real close. 294.75 takes the lead by 8 inches.
Let's take a look at it again. And on the end of this replay, am I noticing that the front tires maybe have less air than the back tires?
Well, the way the truck lifts up, you've got to carry in all the weight on the front end. You'll see them tires squat down. There's a lot of difference in the air pressure.
How you doing?
Hi, Larry. Oh, how about in the lead?
Oh, Jelly, that's good. That's great.
Well, you look like you weren't really sure how the pull was.
I've worked on this truck, sold a rod out of it last year, and I've worked on it, and this is my first hook on it this year, believe it. No, it's bringing all of our pulls out. I hadn't had a chance to try it out.
Taking a look at the leaderboard, Larry Hollis in Footloose 2. He is in first place for now, but a lot of good trucks still remain. And one of those tough competitors will be Philip Chrysler. You'll see him when we come back to Rock Valley, Iowa.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is brought to you by Bauer Built. Our strength is in our people and the customers we serve. Will Cross Seed. Good product, good prices, good service. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
Welcome back to Thunder in the Valley from Rock Valley, Iowa, and the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. What a great crowd on hand today. Philip Chrysler driving the Show Me Chevy. Now, he turned down his first pull of 295 feet. Dave, wise decision or not?
Well, I say as much trouble as he had getting a hold of the track earlier. But I'm sitting here looking, he ain't just getting a hold of the track now either. Boy, is that motor singing. A lot of RPM. He just cost himself 11 feet. He goes 284 and 41. He would have been sitting in first place, Claude.
And at the end of the day, I think that will make a big difference. Where did it go wrong here?
Well, as high as that motor's singing, it just never got a hold of the track. Now, I don't know why. We'll find out. We go down to Rick Carlson. Let's see what he had to say.
I went and put a slower gear in the thing because I couldn't get no RPM out of it. Well, that was the wrong thing to do.
You had RPM.
Well, that was the problem. I wasn't hooked up. I was spinning the tires too much. I think that may have cost me the win.
Danny Brockhouse drives a 2005 Ford F-350, and he calls it Holden Strong.
Well, it'd be Fords and Chevrolets. These boys are brand loyal, and this guy does hold strong. Boy, you don't see no bouncing in this pull. Motor turned loose just a tad right there. And then it pulled down, got a hold of the track and pulled down. He's going to move into sixth place at 281 and 51.
Possibility he may have put more weights on the front.
They put all the weight they can on the front. A four-wheel drive pickup carries 100% of their weight on the front end. He got over a little bit in a little harder dirt, and you've seen the tires get a hold and pull him down.
And also out of Holden, Missouri, this is Dennis Ritchie driving the High Roller.
The High Roller truck, one that kind of floats around from different associations, don't hook with the Outlaws 100%. Proud to have him here in Thunder in the Valley. Take a look as he goes down the track. Motor doing its job. Tires doing their job. Not a bad hook at all. Not at all. It's 285 and 14. That'll move him into 4th place. Todd, he started over on the right a little bit. You see a little bit of bounce right there, but then it started drifting on him.
He did. He did a little bit of wiggle waggle as he went on down the track, and I think he lost some distance there.
Yeah, that hurt him. He could have been in 3rd maybe if he could have held a straight line.
You're looking at Wicked Sensation. This is Andrew Bushghost.
You want to talk about somebody that is one to watch. In every sport, I don't care what it is, there's always somebody you want to keep an eye on. And this young man right here is one of them. He studies the sport, he studies the class, and he's got a great running machine. Man out of Jefferson City, Missouri, drove it to that left-hand corner. Oh, man, 300.57.
Nice, clean-looking 76 Chevy. Dave, is there any ruling as far as where the exhaust can be placed?
Yeah, the exhaust has got to go straight up or straight back. That's in case a valve comes out. You don't want to be shooting at the crowd. Look at him look over his left shoulder right there. He knows where he's at.
Andrew Bushghost, you just took over the lead at 300.
300 feet even? All right, that's what we was needing. We've been back there watching them. Looks like it's taking a lot of horsepower, so we decided we was going to make a few adjustments to our truck, and looks like they paid off.
Our last puller in the class is Paul Tyus. He's your Texas points champion.
Man from Texas comes up to Iowa. This is a good running truck. Chevrolet power at its best. Man manages a white-tailed deer farm in Texas, but he is definitely a hard charger. Ooh, hitting some big RPMs right there. Big RPMs. He goes 299.66. He misses 1st place by 91 hundredths.
As we look at final results, you know, you can always say woulda, coulda, shoulda. Philip Chrysler, if he had taken his first pull, he would have ended up in 3rd place. What a great crowd on hand, Dave.
Some of the largest Outlaw seats happens right here in Rock Valley, Iowa. They don't get no bigger, better, neater, sweeter than what you see right here.
Stay with us. Pro Stock Tractors when we come back to Rock Valley. It's a capacity crowd on hand today at Thunder in the Valley from Rock Valley, Iowa. Thank you for joining us. Hey, let's go Pro Stock Tractor Pulling right now with Bo Ellenstein. He's your 2014 class champion.
Tractor's been fighting him a little bit ever since we was down in White Ride, Texas. Don't worry about those sparks coming underneath the bottom. That's just sliding the clutch. Hope he's got the problem fixed. Smoke coming, motor's churning. Not going down. You don't see the black smoke. You didn't see the real black smoke. Not a good run.
As we look at it, Dave, what does that mean in the beginning there? Well, you saw a little black smoke, but when it's only white, what does that mean?
Too much water and it just don't have enough fuel. That motor's not right at all. He is not going to be happy about that 265.26. Let's go down to Rick Carlson.
Bo, that doesn't look normal.
No, we've been fighting some gremlins. They've been chasing us since Texas all the way across it, and we haven't found them all yet.
David York, well, lots of experience from this puller and this team. Dirt Slinging Deer, what a nice tractor.
Well, it's been a little while since you've seen the name Dirt Slinging Deer back on the track. So the old one went to Texas. This is a brand new one, 3 years in the making. And man alive, I think you built it right. There's that black smoke we're looking at, 324 and 55. And watch on the replay now. When we come to the replay, see that little fire come out right there? That means he is full blast.
And right straight down the middle. Very little elevation on the front wheels. That was just about a picture-perfect run.
That was a serious pass is what that was. Let's see if David thinks the same way.
David, that pretty much had to be what you were looking for.
Yeah, I was happy with it. It went straight. I didn't have to hit the brake, and I was close on the gear, so I'm happy.
And that'll bring up Jeff Parker. He drives the Road Gear Plus.
Man out of Ohio, travels a lot of miles to play with the Outlaws. We're proud to have him as an Outlaw. Father and son team, 2 tractors. This be the dad, Road Gear Plus. Done a little bit of a dive at the beginning and just died too hard right there at the end. Whether he was geared too tall, whether he's got a problem, not too sure. Now, you see the fire come out of the stack. We're not concerned with that. You heard the motor bog a little bit, dance around a little bit. But when it dies this hard, we're going to work on it.
And that'll bring up Steve Calgar. He's out of Butler, Missouri. He drives Southern Belle. Looking around, checking things over, making sure all the safety equipment is in the right place.
Yeah, he was reaching for the horse collar right there. Every one of the pullers, whether it be pickup or tractor's got to wear the horse collar in case there's an accident. And boy, did he run a tall enough gear. He choked that motor. But he goes in number 2, 299 and 44.
How much guesswork is involved this far down into the pulling?
Well, you're starting to move around a little bit. You notice he's over on the right, and he let off the clutch a little too hard. There ain't no guesswork. It's what you think is going to work best. And that number 2 spot, he really could have done better than that.
High compression. This is Lee Jensen out of Blair, Nebraska. Great looking tractor.
Big block motor inside this 60-30 John Deere. The paint scheme, I like it, even though John Deere's supposed to be green. I like the color. I like the look. We ain't gonna run out of power. That motor ain't running out of power at all. 317.35. He'll take a commanding second place position right now. You gotta love this motor.
This was just about a textbook pull also. Listen to it.
Front end up in the air, touched once right there. I don't know how you can do any better.
As we look at the leaderboard, new tractor for 2015 holds the lead, driven by David Yarrick. In fourth place, Jeff Parker. His son, Joshua, will be coming up when we come back. So you stay with us from Thunder in the Valley, from Rock Valley, Iowa.
The Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is brought to you by Extreme Performance Tire Cutting, Be Supreme, by Extreme, Agency 212, Marketing, Communications, Public Relations, VP Racing, world leader in race fuel technology, and by Steel Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping.
Welcome back to Rock Valley, Iowa. Capacity crowd on hand, enjoying all of today's action. This is Joshua Parker out of Martinsville, Ohio.
You seen his dad pull earlier. This one here is called Out for Justice. Just hadn't got the name on the side of the tractor yet. Boys don't come from Ohio to take last. And that is working hard. He done a little bouncing. And he'll burn it in with a distance of 320 and 46. He beats Dad, but not as far as he wanted to go.
Let's go on board, see how rough that ride was.
Now take a look at that right hand. You seen that right hand go down ever so smoothly as his left foot come off the clutch. And listen to the motor and the tire spinning and grinning. A great pull.
A good look at Doug Sabatka getting ready to go in his John Deere 4020.
No name on it. Doug Sabatka, man of XL Engineering. Put her up in the air. Let's go to the other end. This guy got some wheel speed. This guy's got some ground speed. Crowd's into it, and man, oh man, you gotta love it. 3:35.46. A great pass.
We can look at the replay, but I can't find anything wrong with it.
When you go to the lead, you better not find nothing wrong with it. If you're gonna say anything, he's probably a little high right there, but hey, he'll love it. He'll love it. A businessman all the way.
That looked okay.
It did look okay. I was pretty happy to see that. That was a really good ride, and I'd like to thank everyone that sponsors this show. It's a spectacular show, and I'm really glad to be here.
From Ravenna, Nebraska, this is Rick Barrett, Wampus Cat.
Oh, the world-famous Wampus Cat. This is actually the new one now. You've seen in the previous shows, you've seen the original Wampus Cat. This is the newer of the two. And Ricky run out of ponies. Ricky run out of ponies at 294 and 13. He was trying a tall gear.
That's always a guess, isn't it? Which gear and depending on track condition?
Well, a lot of people go to thinking they got more ponies than they got. Ricky's not one of them. He just thought this tractor could horse that gear. But just right about now, he's saying, I wished I'd have dropped one.
And that'll bring up Mason Hansen driving Unnatural Disaster, looking around, checking things over. The red flames coming out. That's okay.
Oh, it is okay. That just tells you that the water better get there pretty quick. The water comes on, puts the fire out, and the horsepower comes up. Unnatural Disaster burning in. He was shooting for the lead. Almost got there. He goes number 2 at 3:31 and 25.
And he sets the sled a little bit to the left of center. Sparks coming out, front end up a little too much there.
Just a little high. I love that head-on shot. You can see that air horn right in that black gap right there. That is a lot of air going in that turbo.
Cody Yarrick is our next puller, getting ready to go. Hand on the throttle, and he calls his tractor gone, Dave. He hopes it will be.
He hopes to be gone to the far end. I love the lines on this tractor. I mean, those top weights right there on the front are original. They're just a cool-looking tractor, the Wheatland fenders. Didn't go as far as he wanted to, but he did beat Dad. He goes 4th place right now at 3:21 and 46.
Crowd enjoying that, and that will bring up Steve Bailey. No pressure, but here's the last puller.
Now, this guy has already made mention that he's going to gun for the points championship this year. A new point schedule for the Outlaws. We'll find out at the end of the season who's going to carry it through. This guy can be a charger, but having to hit that left-hand brake's only going to put him in there at 3:08 and 28. That is not going to put you in the points lead.
As we go to final results, Doug Sabatka wins it to represent John Deere. In fact, the first 7 places.
They come out on top. John Deere number 1. And that's just a sampling of what happens in Thunder in the Valley at Rock Valley, as this show has got a lot more to offer in weeks to come.
And we promise you that. That'll put a wrap on today's show. For Rick Carlson and Dave Bennett, Claude Wood, so long from Thunder in the Valley, Rock Valley, Iowa.